So here I am with my new favorite book, which I've talked about a couple of times. And there's an interesting section here where the book is talking about TSR and D&D's connection to comic books. And apparently TSR got in bed with DC. They've got in bed with a couple of different comic publishers, but this particular one they're connected with DC Publishing, and they produced something called comic modules, where there were the typical comic book, but then 4 pages of game material were added to each book by a TSR employee. And apparently this caused some friction. I guess DC Comics did not want to have TSR people with pre-approved scripts or whatever. Didn't particularly care for that. And so, lo and behold, that was the end of DC after a few comics that rolled out sometime around 1991, I think it was, or the end of 1991. DC did not really renew the license. But that got me to thinking about this. If you go back to the video I did on Free RPG Day, I did pick up several RPGs, and I picked up this Your Theme Park. Mostly because one of the things I like I'm a fan of the old SimCity and such, where you're actually building stuff. Civilization, Sid Meier's Civilization on the computer, both those games on the computer. I used to be big on building stuff. And so I thought this would be kind of neat. I'd build my own theme park. And then as I started going through it, I haven't played it yet, and I started going through it and started reading this stuff, but it is a graphic novel game here. So the one just made me think of the other, and I thought it was kind of humorous. But I'll talk more about this game as I play through it. One of the things that frustrates me is when I hear about solo games and other RPG games. They're nice, and you see the book, and people talk about how cool they are, but you never get an example of play. And so I'm going to take a look at some of what I've got and do a few videos on that, I think, in the upcoming year, 2026.